When I realized my wife's work trip hotel didn't exist, I didn't call her out. I just showed up at the address she gave me. Lauren had been talking about this pharmaceutical conference in Denver for weeks. She showed me the itinerary, the hotel confirmation, even complained about the early flight. But something felt off. Maybe it was how she'd started sleeping with her phone under her pillow. Maybe it was the new lingerie I found in her suitcase, tag still on, that she'd never worn for me. The night before she left, I couldn't sleep. At 3 a.m., I pulled up the hotel she'd mentioned, the Grandview Suites on Maple Drive. I typed the address into Google Maps. Nothing. I tried the hotel name. No results. I searched Denver hotels for an hour. The Grandview Suites didn't exist. My wife had given me a fake hotel. I sat in the dark, heart pounding, and made a decision. I wasn't going to confront her. I was going to follow the breadcrumbs. The next morning, I kissed her goodbye at the door. Safe travels, babe. Love you. She smiled, grabbed her rolling suitcase, and climbed into the Uber. I waited until the car turned the corner, then I grabbed my laptop. I logged into our shared cloud account, the one she'd forgotten I had access to. Her real flight confirmation was right there. Not Denver, Phoenix. And the address she'd saved wasn't a hotel. It was a residential home. I stared at the screen for a long time. Then I booked myself a flight to Phoenix, departing 2 hours after hers. I threw clothes in a bag, told my boss I had a family emergency, and drove to the airport. The whole flight, I kept imagining what I'd find. Another man's house, a secret boyfriend, maybe someone she'd met online. My hands were shaking when we landed. I got in a rental car and typed in the address. It was a 40-minute drive into the suburbs. Nice neighborhood, big houses, white picket fences. I parked across the street and waited. An hour later, a car pulled into the driveway. Lauren stepped out, but she wasn't alone. A man got out of the driver's seat. Tall, gray hair, maybe mid-60s. He walked around and hugged her. Not a romantic hug, something else. They went inside together. I sat in that car for 3 hours, watching lights turn on and off in different rooms. My mind was spinning. This didn't look like an affair. It looked like something else entirely. Finally, I got out. I walked up the driveway, my legs feeling like concrete. I rang the doorbell. The door opened. Lauren's face went white. Behind her, I could see the older man standing in the hallway. And on the wall behind him, I saw something that made my blood run cold. Wedding photos. Not of Lauren and me, of Lauren and him. Dated 12 years ago. She started crying immediately. I can explain. I pushed past her into the house. The man stepped forward. Son, maybe we should all sit down. I'm not your son. I turned to Lauren. Who is this? She couldn't look at me. My first husband. The words hit me like a truck. I never got divorced. I just left. I started running through the math. We'd been married for 8 years, which meant she'd been legally married to 2 people for nearly a decade. The man, whose name was Gerald, sat me down in his living room like I was a guest. He explained everything. Lauren had married him when she was 22, then disappeared one day while he was at work. No note, no explanation. He'd spent years looking for her. He finally tracked her down 6 months ago through a Facebook photo I'd tagged her in. He didn't want her back. He wanted a divorce. And apparently, Lauren had been flying out here every month, pretending to be at conferences, trying to negotiate a settlement that would keep me from ever finding out. I stood up. So our entire marriage is a fraud. Lauren was sobbing. I was going to tell you. When? I yelled. After you finished paying off this guy? Gerald handed me a folder. She's been trying to get me to sign papers that would backdate our divorce to before your wedding. Make it look legal. I would have been an accomplice to fraud without even knowing. I looked at my wife, the woman I'd built a life with, bought a house with, planned to have children with. She was a stranger. I pulled out my phone and dialed. Hey Dad, I need a lawyer, the best one you know. For the next 2 hours, I sat in Gerald's kitchen while Lauren begged me to understand. She'd been young and scared. Gerald had been controlling. She just wanted a fresh start. But Gerald showed me old photos, old letters. They looked happy, normal. She'd rewritten history to justify what she'd done. By the time I left, I had copies of everything. Marriage certificate, photos, Gerald's contact information for testimony. The annulment was finalized 4 months later. Lauren got nothing because our marriage was never legal. She tried to fight it, but Gerald testified. Her own lies became her prison. Last I heard, she moved back to Phoenix. Gerald finally got his divorce after 12 years of waiting.